squeeze through here. And we'll have a brief talk about amino acids. Well, we're talking about nitrogen groups. Okay, so amino acids contain here's an example of we went through the reactions of amines, didn't we? Now, these are the building blocks for proteins. Our examples, there's a couple of simpler amino acids, glycine and lysine. So we can tell this is an amino acid because it has an amino group at this end and a carboxylic acid group at this end. The carboxylic acid has to always be at the end of the molecule. Why? Do you remember that? Because it's what?
It's like iron.
It's because this carbon here can only form one other bond. So that means it can only join into the end of a chain. And if we look at the one in the booklet, there's another one here. Arranged like this. So does that meet our requirement that the carboxylic acid is at the end of the molecule? Yes, it does, because remember we need to draw a sausage. And so that is definitely at the end of the molecule. What does this tell me then? What about this part here? What does that mean?
There's an amine at the end.
How many amines? 2. What would that make it? Diamine. Now, which way would we number the chain if we had to name this?
Start with the function group.
Sorry?
Start with the function group.
So we have to start here. What does that mean our numbers are then for our diamine? 26.
Why don't we sometimes call it amino?
It depends on the context. So it's an amino group, but when we're naming it, it's an amine. So just like a chloro group, it's chlorine. Sort of, there's a bit of a distinction there. When we're naming it though, when it's at the front of a molecule like this, then we just call it an amine. That's our naming rule. What's the rest of its name? Xenonic what?
Acid.
Acid.
Do you want honour coupling from him?
Okay, so they are amino acids, and our last lot of molecules that have this amine kind of group in it are amides. So got a D in there instead of the N, and now we've got oxygen present as well. And just like we had before, if all that we have present is the amino group, then that would be at the end of the molecule. We're going to name our amides by ending in I. And we have an example of ethan amide. And there's also 3-methyl pentanamide. So just like if you have a look at the way it's arranged, it looks very similar to a carboxylic acid. Okay, so this part here is the whole part of the functional group for the amide. We need to have this amine joined onto the carbon that's also got the double bond there to the oxygen. Okay, so can you see the similarity there between an amide and a carboxylic acid? How about you have a go at drawing the structure for this one? I'll give you a minute to do that. So we're going to need how many carbons? And where's our methyl group?
Third one.
Third one from which end?
The reactive side.
So we're going to have to number from this end. As it turns out, it's the same if we numbered from the other end. But we do need to remember that that's not always going to be the case.